I love how the 7th of August is the same day that Battlefield 6 open beta starts and season 5 of Black Ops 6 also starts. And it's a day that I usually have off from work, but because I'm me, I guess, I got scheduled for that day specifically, and I don't get out until like 8:30 at night. So, you know, that's awesome. Is this what it's like being God's favorite? But hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a game called Witchfire. I'll explain what I'm playing in just a second, but this is mostly just gonna be in the background while I yap about Battlefield and a few other things. But yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this and you like this style of video, leaving a like and subscribing to the channel would be very much appreciated. Yeah, early access for the Battlefield 6 beta starts on the 7th, and you know, I thought I was gonna be able to just, you know, watch people and wait until open access starts on the 9th, but turns out that I believe if you watch a whatever associated Twitch streamer, you can get a Twitch drop that will just give you a early access code if you watch for like, what is it, 30 minutes or something. So if I read that correctly, then it seems that most people, you know, if you get a code that way, you won't have to wait until the 9th to play the beta. You can already preload it either way, you know, just to mess with like settings and stuff and have it ready for either early access or for the 9th for everybody else. But yeah, I was kind of bummed out that I work on that day, but I was like, oh, it's just Black Ops 6 that comes out, even though I really want to play the new Zombies map. But yeah, then I found out that it's also Battlefield 6 because it should be fairly easy to get a code if what I read is correct. So the universe works in mysterious ways, and those ways always end up being not in my favor, it seems. But yeah, I should probably give context to what I'm playing here in the background. What the fuck is that? But just to explain what I'm playing really quickly, this is a FPS roguelike called Witchfire, and basically you're a witch hunter hired directly by the Pope to, I guess, go deal with demonic shit and get rid of it. This game has this really cool, like, religious fantasy aesthetic that I really like, and also really satisfying and good feeling, just like movement and gunplay and everything. I believe the devs for this were really like inspired by Destiny and how that game feels. What the fuck are these? That's what that is. Okay, well, good to know. But you do runs, you get resources and currency and everything. You level up your character, research new weapons and spells and gear and all that. It's just really, really fun. It's in early access, which is, you know, something that I usually don't play. I usually don't play early access games. And in fact, I don't remember the last early access game that I played, if I ever have played one, so. Yeah, if that sounds at all interesting to you whatsoever, then I would definitely recommend giving this a shot, because yeah, it is very fun. I'm still in the like really early game. I started playing it at like 3 in the morning the other day, just because that's what I do at 3 in the morning. I do things that I normally wouldn't do, like download games that I have bought but decided to never play for whatever reason. And yeah, you go around, clear enemy encampments, and you gather resources and find supply chests and upgrades and all that. It's very, very fun, very, very addicting. It's basically digital crack if you want to have it explained that way. I don't know how long I've had this game. I know I've seen things about this game every once in a while, but yeah, I never decided to boot it up for whatever reason. But yeah, in terms of Battlefield 6, they've been updating and talking about changes that they're making to the game in terms of just the general game systems and like class specific tweaks that they're making. And one of just the overall like big things that they mentioned, you know, they talked about skill-based matchmaking, because in the FPS space, you know, that's like a big topic of discussion, especially with things like Call of Duty and like how overtuned it is. If you've watched any Call of Duty, anybody in the past several years since like Modern Warfare 2019, you've been ad nauseum, people have been talking about it and everything. I cleared that group of enemies. What am I gonna get here? Let's grab this. And basically the gist of the whole topic when that came up originally about this game was that the game does have a form of skill-based matchmaking, but it's more like team balancing and not, you know, super strict and overtuned like how it is in other games. And they also said that it's going to be like dependent on what mode specifically that you're playing. The drowned captain is looking for you. That sounds ominous. Well, I found him and he's kicking my ass, so I need to actually be kind of careful here. There you go. You know, I feel like with a game like Battlefield, you can't really have like a super strict skill-based matchmaking type thing just because of how many players that have to fill a lobby. I'm still getting used to like the flow of combat and the like loop of using all your abilities and guns and all your like weapons passives and everything. So yeah, if my gameplay looks like a blissful dog shit, that's why. I'm totally not just making excuses. But yeah, it seems more like team balancing, where obviously it'll take into account, you know, probably like, I don't know, your performance in your matches, and like your matches will be filled with players that are of equal skill to you, of lesser skill, somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be like every single game is going to like be a competitive match where you're only ever playing against the best players. And, you know, if you're constantly someone that does well, at least that's what it seems like. You know, we're gonna have to wait until probably the beta to see how this is actually all gonna work. But I don't think, even if there is like skill-based matchmaking, you're gonna really be able to tell, just because of how many players there are in like a single match. This is a zone here with a big enemy that I don't think I want to fight yet. I should probably go this way first. Actually, I'm going to slowly walk away from here and hopefully not get attacked by this guy. Now, yeah, I'm gonna get my ass gone. But yeah, I think the sort of apprehension over Battlefield having a sort of skill-based matchmaking, quote unquote, is like slightly overblown, because it does exist, but it's not exactly like the way it is in all these other games. But I'm getting my ass kicked in this game, just generally overall. But in this run, you can only ever hold 3 heals, and they don't really heal you all that much, and they're not as plentiful, you know, from killing enemies as I thought they were going to be. Maybe it's just a skill issue and I'm just bad at the game. That's probably what it is, actually. You can just find mushrooms and eat them, but 9 times out of 10 it'll either just straight up damage you, or like you'll get lucky and it'll heal you instead. But I'm gonna aim down sights and mark all these enemies, and then the bolts are all gonna ricochet like I'm playing Destiny. This is literally the exotic Kvashtov from Final Shape, I just realized. Okay. The shotgun is so satisfying to use. All the guns that I've used so far are really satisfying to use, except for maybe like the like hand cannon type weapon that you get, just because I feel like it doesn't really do much, even with the special upgrade that you get for it. But in addition to that, they also talked about like a gameplay thing. So they moved the respawn beacon, which has been historically part of the recon class. You know, it lets you, oh, I can open this. Obviously, you place it down, it lets you and your squad mates respawn on a point that's not either a existing squad mate or like a hard point or a conquest point your team holds. What was the point of opening this? It didn't do anything. Unless I already opened it. I think I did. I got what was in here already. Okay, well, I should probably come over here and get to ammo and then deal with this whole area. But yeah, they moved the respawn beacon to assault, because I guess the way they explain it, it actually makes sense, because, you know, the assault players are usually the ones running around and pushing and, you know, overall advancing the positions of whatever team you're on, you know, pushing points and objectives and all that. Whereas snipers are usually more like in the back of the map. Now, obviously you can like push and do whatever. Yeah, that mushroom damaged me. God damn it. Okay. I didn't even see all those. And yeah, I'm probably gonna die here pretty soon, because I literally have no healing items whatsoever. So that's great. I could just leave. That'd be kind of lame. Although if I die, I'm gonna lose literally all the shit that I got during this run. So yeah, that makes sense. And they made an adjustment to the assault class, and that's gonna kill me. It has a weapon sling gadget, which basically allows you to carry an extra primary weapon instead of, I'm assuming, one of the grenade launchers that the character can also carry, or the class can also carry. And you could carry any primary weapon in that slot, from what I remember reading about it. So, you know, while the assault player is supposed to be like the frontline pushing class that's like super aggressive, it did seem to... Oh, I can open this as well. Oh, that's cool. That's like a thing you can equip, kind of like a ring in Elden Ring or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that'll be useful, because I'm fucking getting my ass beat. But yeah, while the class is supposed to be aggressive in its nature as the type of class that it is, having like 2 assault rifles was like really good, apparently. So they've adjusted it so that you can only equip the multi-class weapons to your character, or like a shotgun or a carbine or some other things like that. So you specifically can't run like double assault rifles and other stuff like that, which was like, yeah, that was probably pretty good, you know, if what people were saying about that test were true. And you have to get out of here, because I literally have no healing. And they're also going to have multiple different playlists that have the locked weapon system and the freeform open system, so people will be able to try them out. I know people were saying that they're probably going to choose one or the other to put in the game, but I think they said in the beta and in the full game they're gonna have both as options. So that's really, really good. I know there were things going around about the game about like how there's no recoil in the game, but the example, that viral example that people have been pointing at, it's like, yeah, that's a gun that is like notorious for having literally 0 recoil. That's like the point of the entire weapon. Yeah, stuff like that, and stuff like the movement and everything, people are talking about it, but I think it'll make much more sense to everybody, you know, to see whether things are actually a big deal or not once they play the game in like 2 days. So also in that run, while I didn't complete the whole thing, I did manage to complete the research on these 2 weapons here. So grab this, another shotgun. A shotgun that generates ammo. That sounds really good. And I got this marksman rifle as well. I want to research this because I need like ranged magic because the magic that I've equipped is not super far hitting. I researched that. It costs gold, which is basically a currency you get for finding gold in chests, or you can find items that are worth gold that you can extract with. And what else do I want to? I'm not really a huge fan of the hand cannons, or maybe it was just the one that I had, but I mean, I don't think I have anything else to actually research besides this sniper rifle, which I'm gonna research it eventually, but I don't think I should be trusted, so I guess I'll just research this. And yeah, you can only research 2 things at a time. At least that's at the point in the game where I'm at. That's how many things I can do. So I can equip this as well. Okay, that's cool. It prevents fatal damage once in a run, and it restores some health, fully recharges spells, and grants a few seconds of immunity to any incoming damage. Wow, that sounds really good. Probably something that you should probably equip when you get the chance. But I'll equip this shotgun, and I'll equip this new rifle. Come over here. This is how you unlock like the bonus abilities on your different equipment. So what does this do? The only thing that I don't like about this game currently is that when you in runs, when you get like abilities for clearing a zone or in stuff like this where you're permanently upgrading a weapon, it doesn't tell you what the next upgrade actually does until you unlock it. So it increased the range and deals bonus damage to already burning enemies. Okay, yeah, I didn't know it was going to do that until I upgraded it, so that's kind of, I don't know why they don't tell you what it does, but I mean, whatever. And this is how you will level up. I'm not sure how much this actually affects like gameplay overall. I know that to equip like rosaries, which is basically actually like rings from Elden Ring, where they give you like benefits like increased healing or things like that. They have stat requirements, so I'm trying to get this to 19 so I can equip one that gives me better healing, but I should actually be able to do that if I come over here and use these items. I basically give you currency like a Souls game. Over here, equip that or upgrade that to level 19. I love how you don't level up in this game, you ascend. Do that, and if I come over here, I should be able to equip. It's 20 mine, and I thought it was 19. God damn it. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna progress a little bit further into the run that I was just doing, and then I'll be right back, because I needed to clear like 1 or 2 more enemy zones, and then I could fight quote unquote the final boss. But yeah, let me get to that point, and then I will be right back, just so there's something more interesting on the screen than me running around and shooting random mobs in the face. But anyways, all right, I'm back. I did a run on the same map that I was on earlier. I cleared out most of the groups of enemies except for this one, and then when you do this one, it unlocks the quote-unquote final boss of this island, I guess. So I'm gonna run over there, do that, and then attempt to do the boss. The boss is kind of difficult. At least the one time that I actually did fight him, he was like super aggressive. But it's funny, I mentioned that you can preload the beta. You can like launch it and change all the settings and whatever and have it ready so when it comes out. But it's kind of crazy. I don't know if this is the size of the full game or whether it's just for the beta content, but the beta is only 35 gigabytes. At least that's how much it was when I downloaded it on Steam earlier today. But oh, the shotgun's really good. Holy shit. I think this is just like a straight upgrade from the other shotgun that I was using. I freeze those guys and shoot them in the face. Yeah, the shotgun seems really good, but this rifle seems kind of like whatever, honestly. And maybe the passive on it will be super good. But yeah, if this is an indication of like the file size for the actual game overall, then I think there is I can check on the Steam page after this just to make sure, but I think it's like 55 gigs on the Steam page for the actual game, not just the beta. So if that's true, even if it's like slightly bigger than that, like the idea that a modern AAA first-person shooter is like under 100 gigs is like astonishing. Now, when the rumored battle royale, oh, and it's not rumored, when the battle royale for this game comes out and it's added to that game, we'll see how big it is. I don't know if it's going to be a separate game that you launch or whether you're going to launch it from Battlefield 6. So I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But all right, and that's that last group of enemies done. And this is the boss. I'll just talk about this cutscene plays. He's kind of intimidating, but anyways, yeah, I checked. You can install the things that you want, like the campaign or multiplayer and other stuff. And I'm assuming the battle royale when it comes out. But yeah, I think it said it's going to be about 80 gigs, which for like I said, a modern first-person shooter in the year of our Lord 2025, that's not actually all that bad. But yeah, everybody's excited about the game. Nobody has any real like huge blatant criticisms about like the core design of the game at all. It's just mostly small things that like balance things that need to be adjusted and stuff like that, which they already seem to be doing. But yeah, in other news, switching gears really quick before I probably embarrass myself and die to this boss, the new Everdark for Elden Ring Night Rain also comes out on the 7th, which was literally revealed earlier today. But it's going to be Caligo, the ice dragon, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to do, because Augur was very divisive among the community, to say the least. Which is a shame, because I actually really like the boss. And I'm totally just going to straight up die here, aren't I? Unless I like lock the fuck in here. Okay, well, he's not gonna fucking come over here now, is he? Oh, he is. I'm gaming, chat. I'm gaming. Yeah, this shotgun seems to be like my best bet at doing this. I'm not really sure what the flow of combat for stuff like this is supposed to be, because you're not very mobile. You have like a dash, but you can only do it like basically twice before you have to regen your stamina. The stamina is like really punishing in this game. That and the limited number of heals. Also, I'm being fucking sanity checked. I'm not really sure what's happening behind me, but I'm gonna just keep walking forward and hopefully I don't die in the process. I forgot taking damage also reduces your maximum stamina. It's super fucked up. Yeah, there's enemies here. I'm probably gonna die, but yeah, it's fine. Did he just kill those enemies? I think he did. It's actually funny. What the fuck is that? Keep getting randomly launched in the air. I'm not really sure what's happening, I'll be perfectly honest. There's like this calamity mechanic in the game that basically causes like super fucked up shit to happen, and I'm not really sure why this is happening specifically. Also, I can shoot those. You know, if one of these enemies could drop a healing item, that'd be awesome. I'm not dead. Okay, well. Why is the giant pirate? Oh, is that what's happening? I'm being assaulted by the giant pirate ship that was... Okay, I did not even notice that. Yeah, before I got interrupted by the fucking flying Dutchman. Yeah, Augur was very divisive. I really liked Augur. I liked it more than the Sentient Pest, at the very least. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know how I feel about that boss. But yeah, I feel like Caligo is like universally beloved in the Night Rain player base. So if they, hopefully what they do to it in its new Everdark form is gonna please everybody, because if they mess up that boss in any way, that would be really sad, actually. It's funny because Caligo's not even particularly hard, but it's like mechanically a sound fight while not being super complicated, and also just like a spectacle to look at. And the music is so good. I need to go through the Night Rain soundtrack and like actually listen to the music, because I haven't really done that yet. And yeah, I did die there, but I can go do another run in that same location and retrieve... I'm not really sure what you retrieve, if it's just like your currency or your other stuff, but I'll find that out after I edit this video. But yeah, for Black Ops 7, for the new zombies map, they put out like a little dev diary. Nothing super in-depth. Some of the devs talking about the some of the features in the map, and you know, the thought process behind some of the things that they're doing. It was really cool. They didn't do that for every single map, which is kind of weird that they did it for some maps and not all of them. But I mean, I am very excited for the new zombies map to come out. And speaking of just Call of Duty and Battlefield in general, like people are like, this have been a thing in like just gaming forever. People are like juvenile cavemen who have thought processes that don't exceed like a double-digit IQ. But I want Battlefield and Call of Duty to both be good, and you know, one being good and the other being good are good for the player and the industry generally, just because, you know, when things have competition, it usually causes the other person, quote unquote, to, you know, want to better themselves. And in, you know, in terms of video games, that means, you know, usually it means better games for just the general population. So also, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but for Battlefield 6, in terms of like the cosmetic stuff, there's going to be skins. If you know, if you look at the pre-order stuff, you can see that there's going to be character customization, but the skins are like really grounded. Even in 2042, the skins were not super like ridiculous and over the top. Like I think the most ridiculous things in that game were like one of the characters has like a Oni mask, and there's like a goofy T-Rex helmet that somebody has, which is fitting if you know anything about Battlefield and their like weird fascination with dinosaurs. But yeah, nothing super over the top besides those two things. I feel like for people who want like a grounded military aesthetic in the game, and you know, that's precisely what you're getting with the new Battlefield game. But for the new zombies map for Black Ops 6, they were showing off the new field upgrade, the Mr. Peaks thing, and I didn't know this, but apparently it's coming out mid-season and not launch, which is super weird. I very, very much disagree with that, but I mean, I don't know, I'm still really excited for the zombies map, but yeah, that's just like a weird move, just generally speaking. I can enhance these two guns because I already have I don't know how you get the... Oh wait, no. For the first one, you just have to use it. I forgot about that. All right, what are we going to get for the rifle for upgrading it? Aiming down sights slowly charges the bullet to deal bonus damage. Oh, that actually sounds pretty good. I think it's just my Call of Duty brain, but like using a bolt action rifle, I was expecting it to like one-shot like basic enemies, and it didn't, and that made me feel gross inside. I doubt this will one-shot enemies, but it made it be super cool if it did. Now, about for this super good automatic shotgun, kills with a charged melee regenerate up to half the magazine. Okay, that's not as crazy, but yeah, expect content on the new zombies map when it comes out, and also the Battlefield 6 beta whenever I get a chance to play it. If I get a code from a Twitch stream, then it'll probably be, you know, as early as I can possibly get onto it and make a video, but if I can't, then it'll have to be on the 9th like everybody else. But you know, we'll have to wait and see about that. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video and my pathetic romp through Witchfire, again, this game is super cool. If you thought what you saw here looked appealing, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I don't know how much it is usually. I think I bought this game when it was on sale. That's how I usually buy 90% of the games, and then I don't play them. But sometimes I do, like I did with this. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video and you want to help support the channel, leaving a like and subscribing would be very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm gonna go edit this video and then probably come back here and smite more enemies of our Lord and Savior. So anyways, later.